We have some breaking news to bring you. We've been expecting at Goldman Sachs naming a new CEO. David Solomon is going to be replacing longtime chief executive Lloyd Blankfein, who's been at the company for many years, ran the company for the past 12 years, brought it through the financial crisis. Here's the timing of what's going to happen. David Solomon is going to take the CEO title starting on October 1st of this year. Lloyd Blankfein will remain the chairman of the company till the end of the year. And then David Solomon, starting in 2019, will be both the chairman and the CEO. A memo going out to the company internally just moments ago. To the people of Goldman Sachs, Lloyd Blankfein writes, today our firm is announcing that I intend to step down as the CEO at the end of September and remain as chairman. When I've been asked about succession in the past, he writes, it's always been hard for me to imagine leaving. When times are tougher, you can't leave. And when times are better, you don't want to leave. I got a chance to spend some time with David and Lloyd yesterday, late yesterday, before this announcement was made. It is perhaps a huge changing of the guard, a new chapter in the life of Goldman Sachs, which has changed remarkably itself over the past decade, in large part because of the financial crisis and the shifts in the way the banking business have shifted. Goldman Sachs, of course, going from being a trading firm now, as we talked about earlier, this in the last hour, really transforming itself into both now a bank holding company and what that means and what it brings. David Solomon came to the company 19 years ago from Bear Stearns. I want to read you just a couple of things that Lloyd Blankfein did tell me. Let's go back to the beginning of that. This is a period of time when I'm feeling quite optimistic about our positioning. Could it have been earlier, he said, about the timing? Could have it been later? Let's flip that screen around if we could. You're going to see there. When things are going badly, you can't leave. And when things are going well, you don't want to leave. So if you're going to go out on your own steam, he says, it's always going to be at a moment when you don't want to leave. And by the way, that's why people sometimes stay too long. He continued on to say a number of other things. Let me just bring up a couple of other interesting comments that he had made to me just yesterday. Interestingly, he said, this is a period of time where I feel quite optimistic about our positioning. He said, I'm not tired, I'm well. And when he said I'm well, that's a particular allusion. He had been diagnosed with cancer a couple of years ago. And went through treatment, and he says that he is healthy. He says, I'm not out of gas, but he says that David is ripe and ready and the right guy. Here's what David had to tell me about all this. He says, I know that in my tenure, the firm will evolve. There'll be changes, but that's not going to be a revolution. There's going to be an evolution at Goldman Sachs. He says, I'm excited. I'm humbled by the responsibility. It's a big responsibility. I'm going to have to work hard at it, but I know enough to know that no matter what I think, I know what it feels like to sit, well, I don't know what it feels like to sit where he sat for the last 12 years. But this is a huge change in the guard, perhaps the most influential and watched firm on Wall Street.
Hey there, thanks for checking out CNBC on YouTube. Be sure to subscribe to stay up to date on all of the day's biggest stories. You can also click on any of the videos around me to watch the latest from CNBC. Thanks for watching.